guys?
Good, how are you? Guys, we'll open it up to questions for Alex. Starting in front with Danny.
Hey, Alex, good to see you.
Hi, Danny. How are you?
Good. First of all, how are you physically and mentally also? And when you last talked to us at the end of the season, I guess, did anything change maybe as far as health-wise, or was there anything?
I wouldn't say anything changed. I guess going through what I went through last year, to be able to play at the level that I thought I could get to was obviously very difficult. Then you get to the end of the season and, we talk to media or whatever, but at the end of the season when it comes to that stuff, one, it was all kind of fresh to me. I mean, the season ends, my focus is on what we didn't accomplish as a team. It's never really about the players. I think you talk to most guys here, they're not going to dwell on the injuries that everybody had. So you kind of go through that process, and then you consult with obviously like the medical staff and doctors, and kind of go through the process and see what your options are, and then that's how I came to the decision.
What do you expect moving forward? I guess just what are your plans in terms of trying to rehab or any of that?
I'm continuing to rehab. I mean, I'm just going to continue to do that. Process has been good so far, and first and foremost, I think, being able to be a dad and being able to do the things that I want to do as a dad is very important to me. And we have a phenomenal team here. The rehab process has been great, and I've been able to obviously, be the husband and the dad that I wanted to be. Last year was very difficult being able to do those kind of things. So that's been very refreshing.
Are you planning on surgery? Have you had? What are the plans there?
Not yet. I'm going to continue to try and rehab it. You consult with, doctors, and you have to look at the outcome and see if there's going to be a guaranteed outcome. And when I met with a lot of different people and spoke to different players who have kind of been through something similar, and the rehab process is the way I want to do it right now, and it's obviously been making a huge difference. So like I said, I feel a lot better.
Are you in pain like right now, like sitting here now? Or
No, I think being off the ice for now has been obviously very helpful. And like I said, with the rehab program we've put in place, it's made my daily life a lot better, whereas last year was obviously not ideal and very difficult.
It's obviously never going to be concrete, but this season's probably off the table. Is that correct?
You know what? Nothing's really concrete. I'm just going to continue, kind of take it day by day and go throughout my process and see where it goes.
And you're definitely not done. Like, you still think there's a chance you're going to play.
You know what? Like I said, we're just going to kind of go through the process and take it day by day. And, I'll be around rehabbing. I think that's important for me, is kind of still be here. And mentally it's great because, I love being part of a locker room, and anybody who's played sports, especially at our age, especially, you get to get together with the guys, and it's been really, really fun for me able to come here and still see everybody and still be part of the group. And, I'm just trying to help the guys too right now, like through training camp, and maybe a good sounding board. And got a lot of young guys, whether they're, in junior or in Henderson or up here, that hopefully I can be a good sounding board for them.
I was going to ask you if you were going to find a way to stay connected with hockey as you go through your rehab. But I want to ask you also about this being an Olympic year. I know you were disappointed not being able to play in Four Nations last year. Just your thoughts about an opportunity that kind of slipped away from you because of health reasons.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the coolest experiences that I think I've ever had. That comes into the decision too. The hard part for me about that is, I wish my kids would have had an opportunity to see me do it. That's really like, my wife and my kids, to be able to see that would have been, pretty special. But going back to your first question would be, I'd love to help. I think with my experience, and I do really enjoy helping young guys and talking to them, and whether, like I said, they're in the NHL, American League, wherever they are, Henderson's right there too. So I think it'd be pretty easy for me to hop over there and go help guys and be a good influence on them.
So you and Ryan and Tim have talked about that possibility of you maybe being like a de facto assistant coach
Well, I don't know if I want to be a coach just yet. I don't know. I want to work between school hours for now. But yeah, I think whether even sitting with the coaches with Krager and or our coaches, sometimes it's good to have a player's voice in there too, and sometimes just sitting down with guys and having a conversation about life is important too, because life comes at you fast, and I've been through it with kids and a long career, and I think that's something I could be very good at.
Yeah, Alex, to that point, players always talk about, when injuries come up, the disconnect when they're rehabbing from the locker room. You kind of alluded to it being a sounding board. I guess you've seen guys go through injuries. How, I guess, your plan of attack to still be part of the group as much as possible while you're going through the rehab and that different role that you would take on?
Well, I think for me, being part of the group is just as important as maybe, guys wanting me around to, like I said, be a good sounding board, because the hardest thing is not being around a locker room when you've been around it for as long as I have. I mean, it's been since I was, 7 years old. So that's the hardest thing. But having that rehab process and being here has been really good. And I think you just kind of get into the season and see how things go. Whether it's helping injured guys, when you're injured too, and some guys are going to be out of lineup for 2 or 3 weeks. That's just the reality of it. And if I can be here with those guys and when they're working out, I work out with them and just kind of bring the morale up. It's tough. It's tough being gone from your teammates for a while. So maybe I can help those guys too, have someone with them and keep their energy and their mood up.
Going back to the young guys, I think Kelly had mentioned when he talked to us in July that you gave an endorsement to Caden as far as him being ready for that responsibility. He has your locker now, so I guess that's probably one of the signs.
Maybe I'll go change it tomorrow.
But just your thoughts on him taking on that next role and what you expect for him now.
Well, you see it last year, right? And credit to him and Huddy for that matter. I mean, those guys sat out for extended stretches last year, and for them to come in and play as well as they did is pretty impressive. That's kind of a nod to them as who they are as pros, and he's still young, but you can see it in his game, right? He's an elite skater. He sees the game well, and the more he plays, the more comfortable he's going to feel, and the more he feels like he's ready to really contribute. So I think especially with him and Whitey there, I think Whitey's ready to take another step, and you saw it last year. Him and Hanny play well together. So Corey's is a good kid. He's willing to learn. He's eager to learn. He works hard, and I got nothing but good things to say about him.
Where does golf fall in the rehab process here?
I've tried a little bit. I mean, like I said, I'm so busy with my kids right now. That's kind of the priority. I'm coaching my boys hockey, and like I said, we got dance. We got kids play baseball. The girls play. Like, it's just nonstop for me. So that takes up the majority of my time when I'm not here. And when I'm not here, there's days when I'm busy and I don't even know what I do. I just fill the day with errands and help my wife, and family comes first.
I know this isn't it, but how satisfied are you with everything you've accomplished in hockey, from 2 cups to Olympic medal to World Junior? It seems like you've checked a lot of boxes.
Yeah, for sure. You have to kind of take a step back and be proud of it. But I think the one thing that I'm the most proud of is when I came here, my goal was to win the cup. And obviously, having won one in St. Louis, I had I had Julia, and she hadn't had an opportunity to be part of that. And I got all 4 of my kids to be able to sit in the Stanley Cup when they were babies. And I have a picture with that, and that is the coolest thing in the world that not many people can say. And I'm happy I got that done. It's pretty special for me.
You've kind of touched on it, but as far as just abruptly stopping, as far as playing goes, the fact that you've always been a dedicated family man and you've always put that first, was it a little bit easier to kind of disconnect from that, knowing that you can focus more on your family?
I wouldn't say it was easier. It probably keeps me more distracted than anything, right? Because we're now got all these activities going on. I think when the real games get going, I mean, my boys we're gonna go watch games. They're gonna want to go. My boys will play hockey. My daughters love watching the games. They know all the guys. That's important, right? It's important that they have the privilege to be able to do that. It definitely comes into the decision, right? Like I said, last year was very difficult being able to operate, play to the level I thought I could and be the dad that I wanted. So, and the husband, more importantly. So for me, that all comes into the equation when you make those decisions.
Alex, as was mentioned, one of the things you got to do was be in the World Juniors many years ago now, but
Many.
but this is the 50th
You can say it, it's
anniversary.
okay.
This year's the 50th year of the World Juniors, and so maybe you could just share about your experience from that point. You remember how much did that shape you into the career that you had, your time playing?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to do it twice. Once, both in Canada actually. Especially growing up in Canada, I mean, the World Juniors is like the coolest thing. You watch it, Boxing Day. As a kid, that's all I watched growing up, right? You just look forward to that. I still watch it because it brings back all those memories. So it's a phenomenal experience. I mean, you get the best players in the world at that age all playing against each other, and it makes you a better player, really. It's the first time that really you get that opportunity. There's I guess the Ivan Hlinkas before, but that's the first opportunity to play with that level of players. And I won one and I lost one, and both were just phenomenal experiences, and you create friendships through it.
So what would you share with people that are going to compete this year? It's in the States this year, it's in Minnesota, just, people like you have no.
Just honestly enjoy the competition. Enjoy being part of such a special group. Obviously, you're there to win. You're there to play your best, but you create a lot of memories and friendships. And I still see guys that I played with in those tournaments after games, and those are some special memories that we shared.
Do you see yourself staying in Vegas when your career is over?
That's we don't really have a plan, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Going to kind of go with the flow for now.
There's no other questions. We'll go Steve and Gary just to wrap it up here. No, Gary.
When did this issue with your hip really begin, and did you consider addressing it when it did start, rather than wait until this point to try to fix it? Has this been an ongoing thing for quite a while, or is this a more recent injury that you?
I mean, more recently, it probably started a long time ago, but last year's when it really took a toll on me. Maybe due to age, it is what it. I don't know exactly. I couldn't pinpoint exactly why. By the time it really started to get to me last year, to try and address it, I mean, with how good of a team we had, it would have been it would have cut the whole year off for me. And when you have a roster like we did, and you have an opportunity you think to win, that's a tough thing to give up. So that never really crossed my mind. I didn't even really know exactly what we were dealing with until the end of the season. I started consulting with a lot of different people and players and doctors, and kind of go through that process. So that's why I skipped the Four Nations, was to try and give myself an opportunity to rehab that and give it the best push for the second half and in the playoffs.
Anything else for Alex today? Thank you, Alex. Thanks, Alex.
No questions, Darren? Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah.